Hey guys, welcome to Most Craved. I'm Jenna Bush with Legion of Leia.
I'm Silas Lesnick with ComingSoon.net.
And here we have the lovely Kim Horcher, who is
Hello.
filling in for Bibbs. And today...
I didn't know I was doing that.
Yes, you're doing that. That's what you're doing. You're also talking about Star Wars, The Force Awakens. So this is our all Star Wars show. And I think probably the best place to start is what we know so far. Who wants to start with what we know so far?
Well, we don't know a lot solidly.
don't.
We have a lot of theories
Yeah.
of what's happening so far.
Well, we know the main characters are Rey and Finn.
Yes.
We know that Rey lives on Jakku, and that she thinks that she's no one.
But is she? No, she is someone.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, that sort of gives you the beginning of the hero's journey, because a lot of Star Wars is based on Joseph Campbell's hero's journey, and having that and sort of denying the first chance at adventure, and then thinking that you're no one and stepping off the cliff. You see it mirrored in like tarot cards, where you see the first card is the Fool, where he's got the little backpack and the dog, and he's stepping off the cliff, like looking away. So that's sort of the beginning of that was a really weird thing for me to say, but whatever. And then Finn. So
if Rey is kind of the Luke analog, who is Finn?
don't know.
He doesn't really fit either
Yeah.
Han or Leia.
Yeah, what do you think?
I like the idea that I don't really know. If I had
Yeah.
to guess, I would assume there's a connection between Rey and Kylo Ren.
There has to be,
Because
right?
I feel like
Something.
Luke and Leia as twins, Rey and Ren, it seems like it fits there.
Yeah.
I have like weirdly mixed feelings because we keep seeing Finn with a lightsaber, and it's so awesome.
Wait,
Yeah.
isn't he with the Knights of Ren?
Oh, Kylo Ren is with the Knights of Ren. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Finn does have the lightsaber.
But for all we know, they were named after historical Jedi,
That's
and
true.
the Knights of Ren, he could still be named Ren.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that is true. And now Finn, we know, grew up in the Empire. And from I know we're not really supposed to talk about the books, but in books and in Star Wars Rebels, you do see that like people in the Empire are trained from a very young age, much like Jedi are, and indoctrinated. And something happens on the ship. He ends up wearing Poe Dameron's clothes or his jacket. So I'm assuming something happens there. I don't know, but that could be.
But it also may just be might be a jacket that's very
Exactly,
popular.
yeah.
in,
It's a cool
Yeah.
jacket, Jenna.
I have a BB-8 jacket. I know other people have a BB-8 jacket, so this is entirely possible.
Is this the Her Universe one?
Yeah.
The bomber?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's cool. But then Finn doesn't know what he's fighting for now. So his alliance is obviously is not alliance, allegiance. Wow, that's World of Warcraft. I put that over there.
I do think it's interesting that Finn, as a stormtrooper who seemingly stops being a stormtrooper, that was always in the old continuity Han Solo's backstory.
Yeah.
I don't know if it is anymore.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Oh,
We
yeah, I
also
don't know.
had, those old stories of, well, we wanted the hero to be female,
Yep.
but we were going to make Luke.
Yep.
And when we wanted Han to be black, we'll do it now.
Yeah. So Finn, I love him. I love him. I think he's awesome. So Poe Dameron we know is a pilot. We do know from the beginning of one of the books, the new canon books, that he knows Leia. But
And we've
Weren't
seen
they
some
shown
background on
together?
him in the comic, too,
Yeah.
in the Shattered Empire.
yeah. So did you?
Weren't they shown together in one of the spots, like in the same scene at least? Leia looks very concerned. Poe Dameron's just there.
Yeah, I think so. And in the book, she's concerned because he's a roguish pilot.
Yeah.
She knows nothing about those. So
She only likes nice men.
yeah. And we know that she is General Organa now.
Mm-hmm.
Or Organa Solo. Was that ever made clear?
I don't think they've said.
No, I
It is
don't
weird
think they
that
have.
everyone becomes a general in Star Wars.
Yeah,
Like Lando
it's true.
became a general. Han became. Jar Jar became a general.
Yeah. I refuse to remember
We
that.
will not mention that.
No Jar Jar. And we know that BB-8 is a boy robot.
I thought BB-8 was a girl robot.
It was back and forth,
I
wasn't
think
it?
it was conceived of as a girl robot, but by the time it actually made it the movie, everyone was calling it he, which is kind of unfortunate. I remember in the old
Yeah.
continuity, EV-99, which was Jabba's interrogator droid, in the old canon was a female
Yeah.
robot, but
Yeah, and really, it's a robot, so
It doesn't really have.
doesn't have parts,
Yeah.
and it's a ball with a thing on top. So, but I do know that I have the little Sphero droid,
it's so
and
cute.
yeah, and in all the material it's he. But then you know, Jurassic World dinosaurs were also called he in the toy thing, and
they're all
that's
female.
part of the story that they're not. But all right, I'm fine. So what else do we know about Kylo Ren?
Not a lot.
He's the world's biggest Darth Vader fanboy.
Yes,
And he is going to collect all the memorabilia that he can possibly find.
I heard an interesting theory from a friend of mine who thinks that Kylo Ren, that something happened to the Force, that the Force is gone and disappeared, and wherever Luke is, he's gone to look for it, but Kylo Ren is trying to reignite it by gathering these items.
Interesting.
And I will say, my brother pointed out something that's interesting, is in all the new continuity stuff, one of the slight changes they made is that, the Jedi Temple, I think the Emperor, where he operated from,
Yeah.
used to be near a Jedi Temple, and now it was built on a Jedi Temple.
Ooh.
And it's like, that seems like a definitive change that seems like it happened for some reason.
Yeah, and Star Wars Rebels does mention Jedi temples quite a bit. So, and obviously the Force and Jedi have gone into legend because we've seen in the trailer where Han Solo says it's true, all of it.
Which, honestly, they were legend in the original
Yeah.
trilogy. I don't think anyone in that universe was even aware that Luke Skywalker did anything with the
Yeah.
destruction of the second Death Star. He was there fighting Vader, but I don't think it got out. I don't think...
Yeah.
If it was told as a tale.
Yeah, and we talked to Bibbs about this because he was saying, well, like, of course people knew, but it's a huge universe. And so why would they necessarily know about this one guy who was up dealing with his dad, you know? So, and now he's disappeared. So what do we know about Luke?
Almost nothing. And that's the way it's intended to be.
Yeah, yeah. So Mark Hamill is not doing the press day that's coming up. He has not been vocal about that much. I mean, he talks a little bit, but he hasn't really said anything. So it's kind of cool. So
I'm guessing that Luke is Leia in the if you're going to take the original Star Wars and map it onto this one, he's the character that is involved in the plot, but it's going to be a while before the rest of the cast catches up.
yeah, yeah.
People have been theorizing that he has gone rogue / bad.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I feel about that. Now, obviously, we're not spoiling anything because we don't know anything. So we're this is just theory. I'm not sure if I really have a particular opinion on either way, like whatever happened, if he's gone rogue or if he's trying to save somebody. Like, whatever you do is fine. Like, I'm cool. Like, I don't have any, but I know a lot of people have been complaining online about, like, oh no, Luke can't go bad, but sure he can.
Well, yeah, it's absolutely
He's
set
done
up.
it though, right?
Yeah,
He's done
I
it
mean-
in the expanded universe.
And by the end of Return of the Jedi, he's dressed all in black. He
Yep.
has a robotic hand.
Yep.
And the one thing I didn't even notice until about a year ago, I was watching the original trilogy, when he gets to Jabba's palace, he chokes the Gamorrean guard.
Yeah.
There's no reason to do that. Because
Yeah.
all you have to do is wave your hand and he'll step away.
Yep.
But he chooses to hurt him.
Yeah.
Which I think is
Oh,
interesting.
Luke.
Yeah, somebody just put out a whole big video of like his kills from the
Oh,
from
he
4,
has
5,
the
and 6.
highest kill count, doesn't he?
He does. And there was, and I know I've mentioned on the show before, but there's the color theory where when people are wearing brown, they're usually good. When they're wearing black, they're usually bad. And Luke does end up in black.
I feel that one of the things I would really like to see from the new trilogy or just from this film is the idea that sort of like what Inside Out gave us, that like sadness is necessary. The dark side should serve a purpose.
Yeah, it
It
And-
does.
But it's become such a like, okay, they're evil, they have red lightsabers. I'd like to see the idea of like, well, the Jedi aren't necessarily perfect. And
Yeah.
I also think as far as Star Wars goes, we have a trilogy no one likes and a trilogy everyone loves. And the idea of like you need to take the good with the bad
Yeah.
to have a collective whole.
I like that. Well, you know, it's interesting. I think I mentioned it before. I did some chapters for the Star Wars Psychology Dark Side of the Mind book that just came out. Plug. One of the chapters I wrote with Dr. Janina Scarlett was about the Jedi and about how, especially in the prequels, the Jedi are not really that good. They are taking children at a very young age. They're not allowing them to develop connections with their family, anything that would naturally develop compassion. So they're sort of removed from the people that they are trying to protect. So they don't have an emotional bond. They don't have an emotional connection. They're taught non-attachment, which is not necessarily like don't attach to anything or anyone, but it's a comfortable distance. So then you have the Sith who are passionate and who want things now, and that isn't always a bad thing, just like detachment isn't always a good thing. And I think there has to be a balance. Like you can't just have one or the other. So So that is my very nerdy 2 cents.
No, that's great. I mean, we forget sometimes that the Jedi, they've done some bad things. They've pulled some not so morally right orders before.
Yeah.
And it's not all black and white, though it does sometimes appear that way.
Yeah, so I like the idea of there being a balance in the Force, and they talk about there being a balance in the Force in the movies. So, so final question: do you think you're gonna love it?
I am thinking it's going to be great. I every time I see something new, I'm so worried. There's the new TV spot that has some Han Solo in it, and it's
Yeah.
like it looks so awesome seeing Han Solo, and at the same time, I feel like it's going to turn into like a DirecTV ad where he's going to turn and be like, "Have you signed up for DirecTV?" It just has that sense to it, but I know that's not going to happen, and it's going to be cool. I can't imagine. You have
Yeah.
3 movies that sort of just showed how not to do Star Wars. So you know what people want. You have a huge media commercial empire riding on it. I
It's an
think
empire.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I totally agree, though. Kim?
Yeah, I think what we've seen so far is a very good indicator that the franchise is in good hands now, and that it will likely end up making most fans happy. And that is why I'm here to replace known hater William. I know Bibbs and I like him. It's cool. It's cool.
No,
It's
they're
all
totally
good.
friends. They're totally friends. I mean, I've said this a million times, but obviously, I think they're going to be good. I think same thing that you have these 3 movies that are reviled and not by everybody. There are definitely people who like the prequels. I don't know why.
Who?
But they're
I still like elements of the prequels,
Yeah, there are
and I still have
things.
like a nostalgia, particularly for episodes 1 and 2. I
Yeah.
feel like I was such a fan that it wasn't until episode 3 where it hit me that like that's it. That's the
just
Star Wars
have
prequels.
Bad
Yeah.
memories of like
yeah.
bad chemistry and bad writing and bad lines.
Rolling through a field with giant
Are you
creatures,
an angel?
and then there's poo. Don't roll through the fields. Just don't do that. But I think that knowing what fans don't like, and the ones that do like the prequels are generally a lot younger and grew up with them at a very different
I
time.
wish I could wish these feelings away.
I know. I'm
But
so sorry.
nothing can change it. Only
No.
my new powers can do that. Yeah. Look it up.
Kim, you're awesome. Okay. So on that note, we'd love to hear from you guys. Do you think it's going to be good? Are you enjoying the anticipation? Are you nervous at all about what you're about to see? And what are your fan theories? Follow us right here on Most Craved on Twitter, and we will see you next week. May the Force be with you.